Good evening and welcome along to the Broadcasting Lounge. We are in Indianapolis tonight. Exciting racing coming up with round 10 of the HPR Series on the road course. Got Corey alongside me and... not Corey? Jesus, I've already made a mess of it. I got Leon alongside me at the Broadcasting Lounge. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, good. Yep. I haven't bombed anyone's toilet out tonight, so you can't call me Corey. I'm sorry, you can't do it.
I do apologise for that. I will try to do
No,
better.
no, you'll do better next time, mate. Yeah, you'll be forced to. No, I'm bloody good, mate. I'm bloody good. How are you? How are you? We're Indianapolis, eh? It's looking pretty cool. I love this course, man. This is one of the first tracks I did on iRacing, and I took a shining to it immediately. So I'm pretty happy to be here. Pretty happy to watch all these boys do their thing.
Yeah, awesome. I'm absolutely stoked to be here as well. Obviously, an exciting place for New Zealand Motorsport at the moment with Scott McLaughlin on pole for the
What a lap, eh?
500.
What a
What a
lap.
lap, what a lap. Obviously, we won't be going quite as fast as those guys around here and taking a bit longer to get around with a slightly different layout and
No,
running in the opposite
they've got no
direction as well.
excuse. Got no excuse. I need you to be going as fast as Scotty Mac.
And to see how hard that's going to be for them, we can see a bit of a track map up there. Not just the 4 left-hand turns that Scotty Mac had to negotiate, a few right-handers as well, and a few more left-handers.
Indeed. Unfortunately, there is a bit of infield there that would probably get in your way if you're trying to go as fast as them across the infield. A couple of camper vans, a couple of cars, a couple of pits. But yeah, really, really cool road course. I really enjoy it. So, yeah, what a week to be doing Indy.
Absolutely. So we've got 22-degree air temperature here in Indianapolis tonight, where we're sitting at 221 metres above sea level, and we're running around a 3.85 kilometre circuit at the road course here. 75% humidity today, and last time I checked, and Leon can probably give a more up-to-date forecast on this, but last I checked we were sitting at around a 1% chance of rain later on tonight.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be, in terms of the weather radar and what I'm being told, it doesn't appear like there's going to be too much weather on the way. If there is, I'll be pleasantly surprised. I'll eat my hat, figuratively, of course. I'm not wearing a hat, so uh, yeah, we should be okay there, which might keep some strategies in check and might keep a few guys, you know, well placed and well in their little rut going around track. Won't have to think too much about it, but nothing appears to have changed. So no, the wind's going to pick up a wee bit, but nothing too major. Nothing these guys can't handle anyway. Rightio. So well, looks like these boys are getting ready to grid. So we've got 40 odd seconds left until the race starts. So I'll go through the GTP class, and then my mate Shane here can go through the GT3. So we've got Stefan McCartane on pole position for the GTPs. Taylor Mitchell next to him. Then we've got Christian, P3, Michael Vanderhaas, P4, BJ, he is P5, Mr. Bristow, P6, Hedeshide, the Daniel variety. Coming in there after him. Then we've got Scott McKenzie, followed by Jack Hintz, Steve Darren, and Mark Price.
And that means Nico Cordia takes pole for GT3 with Nick McIndoe lining up alongside him. Nick Mitchell, Blake Greenhall taking out the second row there. And then we can scroll on down and we've got Matthew Gerard, Ryan Cotterill, Roger Forbett, Kristen Jenkins, Nathan Gardner, Wayne Hartnell, Dan Turner, Richard Saunders, Tom McCall, Bill Kilgour, Jackson Kilgour lining up just behind his dad. Leon Ware up here in the lounge with me. Ben McMurray taking the grid, may join us later. Jonathan Turner, Cullen Hodgkinson, Steve Arthur, Trent Bennett and Lamont rounds out the grid as they are away on the formation lap.
I believe Dylan Shepherd managed to pip Nico there in the final stages of qualifying, so I think he's starting on pole for the GT3s. Yeah, he must have.
Actually, I've got Stephen McCartney on pole for the GT3s.
Oh, it looks like Stefan's in a GTP car. So,
Oh,
I
yes,
hope
yes.
not.
So, wait, hang on. No, it's all messed up at the moment. Sorry. So yeah, Stefano's in the GTP.
Hey, we'll just go off what I said then. Let's just do
Absolutely, sounds good.
that. So, Stefan McCartane, he's about to start us off. Pace car's coming in, and he will be trying to hold off Taylor straight off the bat. I would say he's bloody quick around these in these cars, but he's giving a wee squeeze just there on the opening wee boost. Just hey, there is someone next here. Don't forget. And we should be green flag now. We are. Look at that.
Yep, they're away racing off down the main straight and off towards turn 1, and it's Stephen McCartan taking the early lead, taking the control as the GT3 is looking very racy in the background. Matthew Gerard weaving all over the place, getting the tyres up to temperature, and they're going to make their way into turn 1 now.
Dylan Shepherd still maintaining the lead there, followed by Nico, by Nick McIndoe, Nick Mitchell, Blake Greenhall behind him. Oh, we've got a GTP car off.
We have indeed.
What's going on there?
And GTP's already heading up to turn 7 as the GT3s are just making their way through the chicane now.
So we saw a wee off there. Looks like we've got a pricey off as well. So had a few wee dramas here on the opening lap, but nothing too crazy. I don't think there's been massive pile-ups. I don't think anyone's dead yet, so that's a very good sign.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to see anyone dead.
No, we definitely don't. Stefan, he's already pumping away. He's gone.
Yeah, so I'm just struggling a little bit with my data at the moment, where weirdly it's got all the GT3 cars ahead of the GTPs on my live timing screen, so hopefully that's going to sort itself out soon. I'm not too sure what's going on there.
No, that's not very helpful.
Oh, we can see Taylor Mitchell running in P2 with Stephen
GT3
McCartan
round.
nearly 2 seconds up the road already.
Bill Kilgar appears to have gone around a wee bit for GT3. I'm sure that's something we can come back to and have a wee look-see at. There's a couple of wee ones before. It looks like Scott McKenzie had a big drama in the GTP car as well. But again, I'm sure that's something we can come back to and have a wee look-see at when things settle in and things start getting a little bit less hectic. Taylor Mitchell here sitting P2. That gap up in front of him seems to just be growing and growing and growing. 2 seconds now, just shy of 2 seconds. He seemed a wee bit faster there in that last wee section. Maybe that's a section where he's a little bit quicker than him. Maybe under brakes he's a little bit braver. It's pretty clean there at the moment. What else do we have? Is there anyone causing a ruckus anywhere? Here's our first GT3 car.
I think that is this guy.
Yep, he's still sitting there, sitting pretty, P1.
So we do have some timing glitches going on at the moment. So Dylan Shepherd currently showing P15 in his class, but he is actually P1. So it looks like that might be correcting itself now, actually, as those GT3s that it's placed ahead of the GTP field are now dropping back down to where they should be by the look of it. So
yep, that
hopefully we should be able to give you some more accurate reading of the race once that's all sorted itself out.
Yep, we had Bill Kilgar in the lead there for the GT3 class, which I would like to say was true, but something tells me his spin before would say no to that one. Might go back and have a wee look-see at Bill's wee issue there, whether it was self-inflicted or not. It looks like he's got Ben McMurray behind him as well now.
Yeah, so Bill and Ben. Oh, Ben.
Let me guess, they live in flower pots, don't they?
I think so.
They do, eh?
How good is that?
I've just gone back and had a wee look, and Bill, the flower pot man, he did that on his own, unfortunately. Bit sucky, but also part of the fun.
Yeah, that's right. We can probably go and have a look back at some of the replays from early on in the race as well. So the first bit of action we had was a crash for Steve Arthur, so we can see what happened to Steve. Now that's interesting. This is before the green flag.
Oh no.
Could be just a little bit of a glitch in the data. Sometimes if they come close to a stop, it registers as a crash, and I would say by the look of this, that's probably what's happened, is they're all checking out, trying to bunch up and then expecting someone to go, and
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I think that's what's gone on there. So we can come down now to Scott McKenzie, who you identified as having had an issue in the GTPs, and
But
alongside
he's on
Jack
the
Hinks,
brakes.
and
Yeah,
yeah, just holding that brake
yeah.
a little bit hard to avoid contact with Jack, and unfortunately it's just gone around on him as he's.
They do not enjoy unload. Oh, he's put himself in a place there. Crikey. He did the right thing getting off the track, though. Good on you, Scotty. That was very well done, mate. He's getting out of there and just getting it done. I'm sure you'll have no problems getting past these GT3 cars. You'll have a bit of passing practice there. Bloody cool. Got a replay here of Bill Kilgar. Yep, that's the one I saw.
So you dropped behind his
Unfortunate.
boy already, and maybe just pushing a little bit hard to get bragging rights back, and just
Yeah.
lost the
And
rear coming out of that corner.
who was our other one? That would have been Ben McMurray was probably our other wee one to take a look at there. I think he had a wee self-inflicted under brakes spin there as well. Okay. Tricky section in here. You really got to push it. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, just
Just Porsche things, eh? Like
yeah. Porsche doesn't like being off throttle as you go through a corner without being on the brakes as well, and I think he's
holy crap, that was close. That must have been Scott McKenzie, was it, coming back through at a rate of knots, and holy crap on a cracker, that was pretty close.
yeah, it sure was. We've got a couple of other things that have gone on while we've been watching the replays as well. So Colin Hodgkinson has had a moment out there.
Oh,
Oh,
we
bit of
tippy
three
tippy boy.
wide. And
Oh,
unfortunately, he's just got pinched up on that curb and it's gone around on
he
him.
was he was the biggest loser out of that one. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
didn't have too much to do with him, but
Good
sucky when that happens. But
good job to get it gassed up and loop back around and carry on though.
yeah, absolutely. If you're quick enough with that traction control button, you can flick it off and
Absolutely.
give you a spin round.
And BJ through the final chicane as well, and he's just
Ah,
lost the
dang.
rear of that GTP there, and doing the right thing, holding his position while the rest of the field come through, and he's
Yep,
picked his
got to be
moment
done.
to rejoin nice and cleanly. So
Good
good
on you,
work there,
BJ. Well
BJ.
done. Mr. Kilgour getting taken down by a GTP car.
Got a
Daniel
close,
Heddershide here.
yeah, close battle here between Daniel Heddershide and Michael Vanderhaas in the GTP class as they make their way around one of the GT3s. And
Lots of GT3s.
yeah, making their way by Jackson Kilgour there. So Jackson's new to the league, so we can probably talk a little bit about him later on when the race is settled down.
Yeah, yeah, one of our OGs, one of our upstanding members of Supercars Season Z, Bill Kilgour's boy. So really cool to be racing with your son. I think that's great. I'll be I would have feel like I would have succeeded as a father if I could sim race with one of my kids. So yeah, that's bloody cool.
Absolutely. Hey, it might not be too long before we get a Bickley Junior in the sim world as well. I
Yeah, I
know,
know.
I know his youngest boy is certainly taken to sitting on his lap and steering the wheel at times. So
Doubt he'll be too far away. Looks like we've just had a wee issue with a hypercar giving GT3 a serve there. Have you got any data pop up for Ride-Off Jenkins?
I
Believe he
have.
may have had a wee issue there with Taylor Mitchell.
We can see what went on here.
Yeah, this section of the track is really tricky. Oh, yep.
Oh
Yeah, it wasn't a
yeah,
lot of room
probably.
there for a hypercar.
Yeah, I would say Taylor probably needed a bit more patience there. It wasn't really the best spot to try and stick his nose in, so
Mm.
that may be something where the decision maker needs to make a call on that one down the track. No live race control in the HPR series, of course.
Yes, of course. But we would encourage whoever the parties were involved to, if are concerned, obviously submit a ticket and it will be looked at after the race. Yeah, at the moment, no live race control for the HPR series, which isn't a bad thing. I feel like some people, when they have live race control there, they will use it, which of course they should. Sometimes to their own detriment.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is, in an ideal world, you'd probably have live race control in at least all our big races, so the V8
Yeah,
Tuesdays and HPR Thursdays. But of course, it's an extra person that needs to be willing to do it, not have a race, and it's hard to find that sort of dedication from somebody. If there is anybody interested, obviously we need to know that the right calls are being made as well. So you need to give us some idea of what your qualifications would be to be able to get into that. But yeah, if you're interested and you think you've got the qualifications to be able to make the right calls, let us know.
yeah, for sure. Yep, give us a message on the Supercars NZ Facebook page or the Discord, and yeah, I'm sure we will. I'm sure we'll be able to slot you in somewhere if you've got the right qualifications. Of course, send us your CV. We want your iRacing CV. We need to know the name of your firstborn, your first teacher's name, your credit card number, and also your IRD number. If you can send that all through to us, we'll make sure that you get ripped off. I mean, considered in no time.
Yeah, I just want to point out that that was very much tongue in cheek from Leon. We're not looking to scam anybody here.
Don't
As,
send us your credit card details. Ever.
as,
No,
as
do not do that.
on a more serious note as well, on the financial side of things, it probably is worth pointing out that, as with all Supercars NZ admin roles, we're a not-for-profit organisation, and so none of us take a paycheck. So please do not expect to be paid if you are willing to give up your time to be race control.
Exactly. We're all here for the fun of it. We want to put on good racing for you guys, and we want to have fun and occasionally have a cool race and give free shit away. That's what we're about. You know, um, we don't do this to make money. We don't make money. It's as simple as that. Any money we get from the community goes straight back into the community and prizes and iRacing bucks and so many other things out there and loading races to keep this show on the road. And that's what we're here for. We're not out for money. We're not doing it for money. We want to keep the show on the road for you guys and have a fun place and a fun community. Where everyone's welcome, basically. So, yeah, I mean, I may have. I'd love to do a bit of race control, but I don't think Sean would let me.
Well, you put your hand up the other night and he shut you down pretty quickly, didn't he?
He did. He did. No race control tonight. No. Leon sucks.
Speaking of cool battles as well, just as we were talking about that, I managed to just pick up Jack Hintz putting a good pass on the barbecue man, Grant Brister.
Barbecue man.
Jack's actually been able to pull out a bit of a gap as well since making that pass while navigating some of the GT3 traffic, but he might have just caught Balaki at an unfortunate time, but manages to make his way around him after that final chicane. Actually, BJ closing in on Grant as well, so Grant maybe not quite up to speed on race pace at the moment.
We've got a taker for race control. We've got Stonesy that's offering to do race control, but I don't think we can afford him. I think it's the problem.
I think that's right. Sorry, Stonesy.
Yeah, sorry, Stonesy. I don't know if we can afford you, Cover. Managing to make their way around. Who's BJ sitting now? BJ sitting 8th.
Yeah, so he's putting pressure on Grant at the moment, looking to see if he can find a way by. I think there was Nico Cordia getting well and truly out of the way, so good work, Nico, there.
He's got it done. He's got it done all right. The barbecue man, unfortunately, losing another one. But is he gonna? Oh!
BJ's paint looking spick and span as usual, of course. Great work he does with those paints.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Ooh.
Ryan Cotterill's just had a moment. I clicked on him because I saw a small gap next to his name, and I guess that was because he was sitting facing the wrong way on the track as somebody was making his way past. So we
Driving in
can,
the pits as well.
yeah, he is. So I wonder if he's picked up some damage somewhere. There's no compulsory pit stops for the guys tonight, but they will need some fuel to get home. Not sure whether he's going to be in the window to make it home, but I haven't really run any numbers on that, so we'll probably just have to wait and see. We can go back and have a look at what's happened to him there. So he's all over the back of, I believe that's Nick Mitchell there in the MRX BMW with quite a bit of damage on the front end, and copped a hit from Matt Gerard on the way through. Not sure if there was contact between Ryan and Nick there. I might be able to grab another angle that will show if it was. This nose cam might give us a better idea. He certainly had half a look down the inside. Yeah, I think there was a small
Yeah,
touch there, but
yeah, it looked like it.
unfortunately for Ryan, I think he wasn't really far enough along the inside to
Yeah,
demand the
it was a
space
bit
there.
questionable, bit touch and go that one.
And unfortunately, Jackson Kilgour has had an incident out there as well, so we can see what's happened to him. Bit of a weird one, losing the rear in that BMW quite far into that corner and just never coming back. So he's obviously got on the traction control that often kicks in and
Yeah,
makes those sort of spins a lot worse in these cars. But interesting considering that the BMW is normally considered the least likely car to have one of those sort of spins.
yeah, I know. I definitely had a few of them. When you almost need a little bit like the traction control not to do its thing in those sort of corners there where you try to gas it up to sort of flick you back around again, and the traction control goes, "Nah, mate, you need to not be spinning up right now," and it can, it can be detrimental to you. And I did get that quite a bit in the BMW when I was really starting to push the GT3s. Um, but it comes at a point where the car is so unstable, whereas the Porsche, the Audi, the Ferrari and stuff are a lot more on edge, easier, whereas yeah, the BMW seems to take quite a lot. You really have to be fucking prodding the bear for it to step out on you like that. But it's certainly, out of the whole lot of them, it is definitely the most stable.
Yeah, you can certainly push it. What feels like you're pushing it a lot closer to its limit anyway, where
Hmm.
some of those other cars you feel like you're just below the limit, you're getting a bit close, and then all of a sudden it'll just snap on you. Where
So yeah, yeah,
yeah, so but I think yeah, all the GT3 cars have that traction control thing where, and of course you can adjust the traction control and turn it down if it's becoming too much of a problem, but then that can be detrimental as well, where they are designed to use traction control. So if you're not running with enough of it, you can light up the rear and loop it on corner exit. But certainly when you lose it on corner, or the rear starts stepping out on corner entry, it's quite a trait with these cars that they just cut all drive to the rear axle, and then you don't have
yeah,
that drive that you need to power yourself out of the side, and just ends up in a lazy spin, unfortunately.
yeah. Yeah, always is. The V8s, when they spin it with a bit more gusto.
Absolutely. There's nothing lazy about a V8 spin.
No, no, definitely not. GTP cars absolutely cutting their way. Ooh, is it enough? Two Porsches going against one another? Not quite. Not quite. So we've got Nathan Gardner. What have we got behind him? We've got right off Jenkins.
Yeah, so Nathan's got the Team West Racing train coming up behind him pretty quick smart.
Yeah, not stuffing around. Not stuffing around at all. Looks quite cool there. All three cars just chilling in the train. Love it. Wheel Porsche as
Absolutely.
well. Yes, of course we are.
Yep. I actually saw those three cars in a line in qualifying as well, so I think there was a bit of draft tactics going on there from the
Oh,
Team West guys. But
sneaky. Love it.
very cool to see them running in order, and they're obviously very closely matched in terms of times. So you would
Yeah,
assume they put in a lot of practice together, probably share a bit of data and some setups, and that obviously translates into all being able to achieve pretty similar performance.
yeah, and coming off a race win and a race second place at Laguna Seca, I believe.
Absolutely, and how cool was
Yeah,
that?
yeah, absolutely fantastic. Really cool watching. You know, if I can't race and I can sit up here and watch stuff like that, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with that. Cool wee reverse cam there. Oh.
Yeah, so Tom's just tried to put a move on Kristen there, and
No
Nathan's saying
T-boys
thank you
here, buddy.
guys. Nathan's willing them to battle on as much as they like because that's actually enabled him to create a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah, looks like they're having fun though.
Oh, and is Kristen going to
Oh,
recognise the GTPs there? He does, and just gives enough room.
that's
We've got Wayne Hartnell
that's
getting
good.
in amongst the team
Yeah,
battle as well.
yeah.
So breaking up those Team West cars at the moment as well. But another Porsche there, so and
Some
actually
Porsche cars, is it?
a little bit of grouping going on. We've got a couple of Porsches up front, and then 5 BMWs in a row, and then looks like 6 Porsches in a row before another BMW. Certainly a lot of Porsches. Next season we might see a bit of a, well, probably a USA Cup in the GT3 class.
Yeah, yeah. Every
Gonna
time
have,
a new car comes along, people tend to get amongst it.
yeah, we got a couple to pick from, and in typical Supercars NZ fashion, we've got an opportunity to continue the Ford versus GM battle that so often
Fantastic.
takes place on a Tuesday night, because we're going to have the Mustang GT3 coming out at the same time as the new Corvette GT3 also launches to iRacing. So, which side do your allegiances lie on there, Leon?
Definitely GM. If I said anything else, my father would probably. He doesn't watch this stream, but if I said that, then he would go out of his way to watch it and then probably come and beat me up. Absolutely, from conception, I have been a Holden man. So I've got to lie in that bed that my father's made for me. But I'm not one of those guys. I'm not like Sean, where I won't even buy the Ford sort of thing. Like he absolutely refuses to buy the Commodore. Outright refuses. I think it's hilarious. I'm not like him. One of the fastest and funnest cars I've ever driven was a Turbo Falcon. So like I appreciate them both, but I am solely sitting on that GM side of the fence, mate. So hopefully
Couldn't
no
agree
team
with you
events
more.
come up.
There's
Yeah.
certainly going to be no disputes in the commentary box tonight around that, because I absolutely am a GM man myself, and funnily enough, I too also actually owned and drove a Falcon for a wee while there, and it was a fun little car. Falcon
Yeah.
station wagon, straight
Yeah.
six. Got to do
What a
some
motor though.
cool little
What
skids
a
in it.
what a flippin' engine. Like I tell you what, they made a bloody good motor there. The transmission's probably not so much, but
Yeah, I was about to say the transmission's another story. That's what let go on me with that car, but
um, yeah, but I know where my DNA, where my heritage tells me to go, and it's definitely behind the wheel Commodore.
also I've actually just picked up. I noticed. I called Wayne Hartnell as splitting up the team battle here, but while he's in slightly different colours, he's actually got Team West on the side of his car as well. So,
Oh,
my
look out!
mistake. Well, yeah, we have got in the GT3 class in terms of positions, we've got 4 Team West cars in a row.
Far out.
Write-off's been able to get off up the road a little bit, and they've got a GTP in between them who's just made his way through now, so even on track it's now the 4 in a row. But how cool is that?
That'll make for a good screenshot. A couple of laps ago, where you had Wayne managing to get up in there while they're all battling, that is going to make a cool picture.
Absolutely.
I'm sure I can probably snap something for you guys from that and send it through.
Nick McIndoe receiving a little bit of pressure from Blake Greenhall at the moment.
just having a quick look at our incidents, our incident points there tonight. What is our amount? Do you know? Every 17 incident points, you will receive a drive-through, and then for a disqualification, you'll be looking at 40 incident points. So, just judging off our boys down there, we've got one person on 12, which is Jackson Kilgour. Just struggling a wee bit with his car there, but looks at a couple of off tracks, a couple of bits and bobs. The next person in line will be Ben McMurray, 10 of them. Obviously, he's decided to stay on track tonight. He was going to potentially be joining us in the lounge, but he's stayed down there with the least cool people. Well, we'll just hang out here by ourselves. I'm not offended at all. Are you offended, Shane? I'm not offended at all.
No, I'm not offended. He's mad as
Okay,
bed.
yeah, you stay down there.
But yeah, so Jackson Kilgour struggling a little bit with a couple of spins and getting up there in those incident points, but still out on track. And good to see him coming along. As we talked about earlier, he is the son of the one and only, the legend himself, Bill Kilgour, who is not too far up the road.
No, not far
from
at
the
all.
youngster. But yeah, so Jackson has recently.
Oh, he just about took that out. Just about took that out. Crikey.
Jackson has recently adopted. Oh, as he goes off the track, he's recently adopted his old man's hobby of sim racing, one which Bill actually picked up from Jackson's brother Connor. And yeah, making a family affair. Unfortunately, life's got a bit too busy for Connor to continue racing with us at this point, but hopefully we'll see him back with us further down the track. And great to see Jackson out there doing things and racing with his old man. Really cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Richard Saunders in the pits. Not sure whether this is his scheduled stop for fuel. I would imagine by now we probably, maybe, as I say, I haven't run any numbers, so I'm really just talking out of my arse here, but we might be far enough into the race to get home.
If you say it with enough confidence, the people at home will believe you. So just do it. Just say it.
Okay, we're close enough to the end to get home.
Yeah,
There we go,
yeah,
I've said it.
Let a GT3 car there through as well. Just maybe not quite so confident on those fresh tyres, fresh gas. And he sort of just said no, we'll let it through.
Meanwhile, Blake Greenhill's really been able to close in on Nick McIndoe, so this is a battle for the podium in GT3 class, and Blake is, well, he's been there before, he's even had a couple of race wins in GT3s before, but he's very keen to get up onto that podium and putting the pressure on.
Whose setup do you think he's using?
Well, normally Sean's, but Sean's not here tonight.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. He's always diving for the inside, and well done.
Oh, can he make it stick though? He's gone deep.
I think it's enough.
Oh, Nick's been able to get back alongside, but Blake's able to carry the momentum there and parks the car on the apex of that next corner, and I think he's probably got it done here.
Well done, mate. That was good viewing, that was. Yeah, that was getting pretty deep, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a cool bit of racing, and I missed the start of it because I was actually looking at my timing screen. I was about to click on for an onboard with Blake, so we can go back and have a look at that little bit of a battle as it took place. So Jack Ince in the GTP car making his way by them, and then Blake tucking into the draft, pulled out, went late on the brakes, almost got into the back of Jack as well.
There was probably a little bit of concern there from Jack in front of him, but managed to hold it up just enough and then still keep the position. So yeah, cool driving, very cool driving. That's put him up P3. So looking at a podium.
Absolutely.
How are our pit stops looking? Have we had many people come in for their pit stop? Are they going to come in?
We haven't had too many come in as yet. We can bring that data up there. So a couple of one stoppers there. Brett
Yeah.
O'Keefe, I was just about to allude to as well, being in there. He's actually towed there, and it looks like he may have had some dramas with Matt Gerard. So we can see what. Oh, that's all by himself, and a
Oh,
massive impact. So,
that's a big one.
oh, I
That's
wonder
a
if
big
we
one.
can. I wonder if we can find something to pick that up a little bit earlier. We might even have to just click on somebody else's name, or we can, while we're at it, we can see another little incident for Jackson here. So he's still getting his head around this GT3 and just losing the rear there.
Yeah.
And hopefully if I click on BJ's name here, no, that's after the incident. So if I do this again, here we go. This should give us the full story. So he's in this very fast corner, and
Oh,
that's really weird.
damn.
I would have thought the GTPs should be pretty easily flat around that corner, but
Yeah,
maybe they're not quite.
I would have thought so. Yeah, strange. I'll just go back and have a look on my one and see if I can see anything untowards that might have given us. Yeah, it's real unfortunate one. He's gone quite wide originally and then sort of adjusted the steering a wee bit and sort of to give it a wee bit more turn in, which at the angle he was at was rightly so, but just a wee bit much. That's a big hit, isn't it? Crikey.
Massive hit.
The car is rather unalived now, I would say.
So
But we
I've
got him
just
back out
jumped
on
on
track though.
yeah, just jumped on board with Christian Hermanson to get a listen to how he took that corner. It did sound like he was flat there, but yeah, I think still a certain amount of wheel work to do to get through there cleanly as well. And yeah, BJ just working the wheel a bit too much maybe and losing the rear as a result.
Yeah, that's what it looked like from my end. It looked like starting to steer a wee bit straighter, and I thought, oh crap, give it a wee bit more steering input, and that was just enough just to say, computer says no. Still, it looks like we had Mr. Darren and Daniel Hedershide there leave, have we? Yeah, looks like their cars were beyond repair and have gone in.
Yeah, unfortunately it looks like those guys no longer running with us.
Okay, so we do have a BJ there sitting in last place, unfortunately, but he's got a fresh car now. Oh, that should just be enough. If I remember that hypercar around a very similar track around Daytona, so in terms of being a little bit outfield, a little bit of that, should be similar in times, and that gave us 45 minutes of driving time around Daytona in the hypercar. And he was in getting his tyres at the 30-minute mark. So it will be right on the cusp, I would say, in terms of fuel and tyres to make it home. I would say really close for BJ, but you should be able to make it work.
Maybe a little bit of fuel saving.
Yeah.
Turn that hybrid deployment up in certain places to be able to get the speed without using quite as much fuel maybe.
Yep.
Taylor Mitchell in pit lane as well, so he's obviously getting his pit stop out of the way nice and early. Will be quite a lengthy stop, he's coming up 40 seconds there, but they do need to add quite a lot of fuel to get through to the end of
Yeah.
the race.
From here now, I would say that it's almost got to be a full tank in that thing.
And he makes his way out and goes past that green cone and is able to release the speed limiter.
And away she goes.
Rejoins the track in 6th place, so
Look at.
will be interesting to see where he comes out relative to Stefan McCartan later on. Stefan was a little way up the road, wasn't he? So wonder Taylor might have chucked some fresh tyres on there, probably chucked at least 2 on there. Probably would have been able to do 4 while he was doing the fuel even. So he might be looking to get some quick laps down, but of course these tyres do take a little while to get up to temperature as well, so I do wonder if
Yeah.
Stefan might recognise that his closest rival has got some tyres on, and just while Taylor's still getting those tyres up to temperature, he hasn't come in just yet, but he might have a couple of laps where he might be able to look at overcutting him and actually open up a bit more of a gap, and then it might start to turn more towards Taylor doing the undercut, sorry, and closing that gap up a little bit. Speak English, Shane.
Yeah, apart from that English lesson there, um, I did see Taylor was swerving a wee bit down the straights just now, just to try and heat those tyres up. So he'll be looking to get back into the window, into the happy spot, and try and nail some of those fast laps without having to worry about his fuel. So that should be pretty good for him.
Oh,
Oh,
Scott
the
McKenzie just
timing of it.
losing the rear, and he
He's
was.
staying planted in that gas too, and I think he's had enough of that car tonight.
I think so. So he was putting pressure on Mark Price, and that's just relieved all of that pressure for Mark. He's able to carry on unchallenged for now.
Yep, he'll be feeling good about that. So no pressure from behind now. He can put his head down and just start doing his thing. And no one else too close to get it on track, are they?
Yeah, a little bit spread out. A couple of guys coming into the pits. I did want to jump on this camera at some point during the race. I didn't really get a chance to come on here properly on the race start, where it is a really cool shot at race start as the cars jump over that curb. And it's such a tricky corner because you've got to get it absolutely right. If you take too much of that curb, as Matt Gerard and Mark Price both take none of it, but if you take too much of that curb, it will absolutely launch the car.
Yeah.
You can get right over it and be okay, but get a slowdown or an off track. You got to find the right spot where you can carry the speed without launching the car and without picking up an off track, and it's really hard to find that sweet spot. But
Definitely,
most of the
definitely.
guys looking to do a pretty good job of it at the moment.
And these cars, both the GT3s and the GTP class, both very sensitive, especially to a bump like that, where it can just, you want to be cutting it as much as possible in terms of making the corner making the apex as short as possible. But these things do not like to be upset from the irregular balance, and when you go throwing them over curbs like that, they tend to get a bit upset about it.
Oh,
Putting it lightly.
there's a mate of ours parked up on the wall there. Ben McMurray has
Oh
parked
yeah.
it outside the last corner on the oval banking. On the original version of this road course, that actually used to be the final corner when the Formula One cars raced around here.
Mm.
Also caused one of the most controversial F1 races in recent history when all the Michelin tied cars pulled out of the race because they were having issues with that banking, and unfortunately we were left with just the 6 Bridgestone tied cars to start the race. And there goes Nathan, well he's Ben having a little bit of a blink there, and eventually time back to the pits, so we might see Ben joining us up here in the lounge before too long, I think.
We may do. We may do. Thomas McCall getting on with it. Getting out of there.
Wayne Hartnell just getting passed by BJ there.
And BJ.
GTP. Man, my English is not good tonight.
No. No, I guess not. Looks like we've had another wee interesting push from Taylor on write-off. Ooh, yeah. If you got any data there from a hit or? It was pretty close.
Can't see anything there for
Oh no,
Taylor
it
or
looks
Write-Off at
like
the moment.
yeah, it looks like they managed to keep it off one another, but it was a good send up the inside, that's for sure. Just having we look back at it now. GTP car on a GT3 car around a corner where he probably had the overspeed. I can understand it. And this guy, 28 seconds ahead.
Yeah, he
And
is
that's on
absolutely
merit as
flying.
well. That's absolutely moving, isn't it?
It sure is, and we can watch him negotiate some of the GT3 traffic that he's coming up on as that Team West car gets well and truly out of the way, so job one made nice and easy for him. and then he's probably going to catch this next one down the straight, so all falling his way at the moment.
Yep. He hasn't got too many dramas chopping through him, does he?
No. Next car up the track, I was actually going to say it looks like another GTP, but it might actually be a Mercedes GT3 when you turn the corner there. No, it is a GTP.
Yeah. Mr. Bristow, barbecue man himself. Oh, it's just unbelievable how quick that can close under brakes and still be happy as Larry. That is just astronomical.
Absolutely, and what's really remarkable as well, okay, Grant's had a pit stop, but that's when he catches and passes Grant, that's going to be him putting Grant 2 laps down in the same class of car in 40 minutes into a race.
Yeah.
And Grant's no slouch.
No, exactly. No, he can't exactly walk past him like he can some of those GT3 cars. So he's got to. Oh, he's going for it. Oh, Grant almost turned in, but I think he said, "Nah, I know better. I know better. You can have your moment, mate." That was bloody clean though. See, Grant did have to open the wheel a wee bit.
Yeah, I think Stefan decided he didn't want to be sitting behind him through that first 6 corners of the lap. Wanted to get the job done, send it down
Pretty
there.
crucial corners.
Yeah, absolutely. And Grant doing a great job to recognise what Stefan was doing and just gave him the room there.
Yeah, for sure. Having a bit of situational awareness about you and saying, "Yep, there's someone that's a bit faster coming through there. Let him have it." And like you say, being 2 laps down, you've just got to say at that point, "Okay, well, far out. He's obviously quicker. Let him have his thing, and move on from there and try and get back through the paces." So Grant, still 5th place, sixth place. We've still got a couple of cars behind him. So yeah, Stefan must have already dispatched those other GTP cars. Very, very quick dude. He comes in, he goes, "Oh no, I suck in the V8, so I'm no good," and then just comes in, absolutely smokes everyone. It's like, oh mate, very quick racer.
Absolutely. Matthew Gerard from some pressure on Roger Forbert as well, and actually this is
That's a
quite
whole
a
lot of
tight little
GTP
group,
cars.
isn't it?
A little gaggle there. Yeah, let's see how this goes down. Yeah, good camera to be on there. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, Matt's got the best seat in the house here, as he's got 3 GT3 cars just fighting it out in front of him, and one of the best options here might be to just sit there and wait for a couple of them to take each other out, and he can just stroll on through.
Yeah, absolutely. But obviously, Mr. Greenhall at the front there. Is that Blake at the front of this pack?
It did look like Blake when we
The
jumped
blue
on
car?
it.
Yes, I believe it is.
Can't actually see Blake's name on my top. He might have actually just lapped them.
Ah, okay. That'll be what it is.
But pit stops
Rocky.
involved there as well, so
Yes, very true.
Matt,
Very true.
Roger, Nathan and Ryan have all taken a stop, where Blake, along with Dylan Shepherd, Nick Accordia, Nick McIndoe, Nick Mitchell and Ryan Cotterill are yet to take their stops. Sorry, correction, Ryan Cotterill has taken his stops, he's just down to Colin Hodgkins and yet to take his stop in the GT3s.
Cool battle. Well, hopefully this amounts to something. Hopefully we get some good content out of this.
So it's closing up a little bit under draft at the
Yeah,
moment.
he's got a wee bit of closing speed there, but nothing too major. Got out of got out of it a wee bit early there. Just oh, that'll be too hard on the brakes. We just got away with that one.
And Matthew just missing the apex of that right-hander a little
Almost
bit as well.
cut that one a wee bit too much. Might have almost been looking at a slowdown there as a GTP car smoking up the inside. Oh,
Oh, that's tight. And there's another GTP car firing down the inside there as well. Sort of appeared out of nowhere on the apex there.
yeah.
Gonna sit on the draft again. Can he get the job done?
That BMW must have the wing wound out of it. Because if he's in the draft, and I suppose with the draft of the car in front of him as well, it could be playing into his.
Oh, this might be his chance. Roger just got held up a little bit there. Matthew got a little bit of a run, but wasn't able to go anywhere with it. Looks like Nathan just blinking a little bit up ahead there as well, so hopefully
Matt
that's
is
not going to be
looking
a
for it.
persistent issue.
He's got it. He's got a bit of
Oh,
speed.
he's got the run. He's
got a
closing.
bit of speed. Here we go.
Goes to the inside, gets an overlap. Does he get the job
Very
done?
well done.
Oh,
Very nice.
Roger's still there, but he's just able to sweep around the outside, and then he has the inside for the next one.
Nah, that was awesome, Matt. I've just been watching that on my screen as well, and that was a lot of respect there, both ways, of course. But yeah, just allowing the room there for the other person and getting the pass done cleanly, which is obviously one of the most important things. So yeah, very cool to see. We still may be in for some more here. See how Roger goes on the back of Matthew there. He may be looking to take the position back. And then also we've got Nathan in front of him. That's also we could be bringing into play here. So let's see how we go. Decent closing speed there. He's right on him.
Yeah, might have just lost a little bit of the draft in that moment when Nathan did just blink for a moment there.
You know, that's perfectly realistic, eh?
Absolutely.
Imagine if the car in front of you when you're on a racetrack just disappears in front of you and you lose your draft, you lose 10Ks just immediately. How's he going to be looking down here? Getting close, getting close. Looks like we'll just let bygones be bygones on this one. Right as time for the next one. It's also going to allow Roger to stay on the pack if he keeps tuned in there. And the more these guys slow each other up by trying to get past one and defend, the happier Roger's going to be. So he's in a pretty good place at the moment, just watching this happen. And is he diving for it?
He
Just
had half
cuts
of
back in
it.
there.
So I brought up top speed data on the left hand side there, and you can see between Nathan and Matthew there's 7 kilometres per hour advantage that Matthew's got in that BMW over the Porsche, which I did suspect might be the case because that BMW is absolutely rapid in a straight line this season.
Yeah, definitely. Here we
and
go.
he's going to use that to his advantage as well as getting that toe. Goes down the inside. Nathan blinking just a little bit there again.
Oh, that's going to be tricky.
Oh, he's been able to use the momentum, but
yeah, gives him the inside here. That's enough. That looks like enough to me.
yeah, it looks like he's got it done. And does Roger sneak down the inside as well? No, he's not quite able to get his nose in there.
Almost. But that's brought Roger right back into the fight again, isn't it? So he's right there up and right in it.
He is, and Stephen McCartan is right in pit lane.
Oh, hopefully he doesn't have too many dramas. Yeah, a bit going on back there. Well, looks like we've also got a Mr. Hodgkinson as well. That's 2/10 off the car in front of it. Looks like there may be another wee battle happening.
So Cullen and Blake. Just go back to see how Stefan feeds out relative to Taylor here. Hopefully that battle between Cullen and Blake doesn't turn into anything while we're watching Stefan here.
And Christian's still due to. Oh no, he's just coming
Christian
to
coming
pits
down
now
the lane
behind him,
as
isn't he?
well, yeah.
So as you saw there, the car dropped down. So obviously the tyres were done, and there was still a little bit of time for fuel there. So the overlap between the tyres and fuel, I'd say, is pretty close at this point. And that was a nice shot of the crowd.
It was
Shout
lovely,
out,
wasn't it? Good to
shout
see,
out to all our fans out there in the crowd.
yeah, good to see a full house in tonight. And you can see as Stefan was rejoining, Taylor Mitchell only just coming onto the main straight now, so Stefan's got an absolutely massive lead with those guys both having completed their pit stops. So we can come back to Cullen and Blake, and Blake's actually just been able to stretch out just a little bit. In fact,
Yeah,
when you picked up the gap, I think it was because of the fact that Blake had just made his way around and maybe taken advantage of Jack Hintz having just picked his way through and getting a little bit of a run and getting down the inside, getting that job done.
very nice pass there. It's looking pretty good.
Ooh,
And that sets you up nicely for the inside here, around that really fast corner onto the straight. So very nice racing, Blake. Eh?
yeah, he had to do a bit of work to hold it on the outside of that penultimate corner there, but it
Yeah, he
paid off.
did.
Paid off
Did.
giving him the inside for the final corner, as you said there.
Rightio. I'll do a quick update on our incident points. So our two highest scorers from before, we had Jackson. He's on 20 now. His car's buggered. He's out of here. He's gone home for the night. Fair enough. And our other one, Ben McMurray, who has also said, no, I'm out. Car's buggered. Going home. And he's pulled into the pits along with Scott McKenzie, same as well. He is at 16 instant points, and he pulled his car into the pits and said, "No more for me, mate. I'm done." So a bit unfortunate there, but the rest of the guys that are still running, the next closest would be Daniel Turner, would be the next highest incident point count. No one else looking like they're getting too close. We've just had a BJ leave, however, have we?
We have, so I jumped on him because I noted that he was in the pits, which was a surprise to me given that he had already gotten fuel when he towed, and unfortunately he's towed again and has now quit by the look of it, so we can
Yeah,
go
bit of a
back and
self moment.
see what's prompted that.
Oh, wee bit of
Oh,
grass, wee bit of grass, wee bit of curb. No, no.
yeah, tricky
And
spot there as the car's already loaded up through the
yep,
right hander as you're braking, and unfortunately he's just drifted a little bit wide, caught that grass and curb, and just looped on him unfortunately, and he's decided
yeah,
with that enough is enough.
yeah. And I think that was Michael Vanderhaas probably lapping him there at that point. So he was, yeah, probably just had enough. Car goes home, put it in the trailer for next week. Moving on.
Jack Hintz is coming out of the pits as well, so going into last week's race he was leading the championship and he got a solid result last week as well, so I think he's probably still leading the championship going into tonight, but a bit further down the order, but just by sticking around and keeping things clean he's still running P5, so
Yeah,
still on to receive a good pool of points if he sticks around to the end.
yeah, definitely. So I'll just give us a quick recap
Oh, we've got a bit
on
of a
our
battle
points.
going on here. Sorry,
No, you're right,
Leon.
man. Do you think?
Roger down the inside, side by side. They're still side by side. This is Roger with Cullen Hodgkinson, is it?
Yep.
No, sorry. Hang on, now I've lost it all completely.
Nathan Gardner.
Nathan Gardner. Yes, thank you, Leon. And Nathan's been able to actually get off up the road a little bit as well, and he's got one of the MRX cars about to put a lap on him. I think that's Nick McIndoe, who actually comes into the pits. And that might free Roger up to have another run at Nathan, and he's closed that gap right back down inside 3/10 of a second, picking up the draft, using that BMW straight line speed, pulls out, shows the nose, looks like he's just going to sit it in behind. Nathan
Oh,
having
that
a
must be
little bit of a
tricky,
blank.
man. the blinking there must make it really difficult to
Yeah,
know where to keep the car.
seems to be regularly in the braking zones as well, which makes it even harder.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course, nothing against Nathan for that. I think we've all been
No,
there.
no.
We've had a little bit of connection issues, a little bit of blinking going on, and it's just as frustrating for the guy that's blinking as it is for the guys that are trying to race him.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Roger will be keen to get this pass done and dusted, get it out of the way. Start trying to work his way back through the rest of the top 10 there if he can. The other guy's not too far away, about 7
Oh,
seconds up
Nathan's
the
gone
right.
a bit wide. That still allowed Roger the chance to sneak down the inside, but still not quite able to get it done. But he could get in position to get the job done down to the chicane.
He's there,
He's
use it.
there. Oh, not quite
Oh,
brave enough under brakes, so Nathan's sending it deep. Now Roger's got to step out of the way to allow the GTP pass. Can he slot in behind and follow him through as he makes his way by Nathan? Nathan having another little blink there. He's going to slide into the draft now, and he's
use that
close.
power.
Is he close enough?
Oh, not quite, not quite. Thought better of it there, but no blinking coming out, and he is right on his bumper now. He's ready to go. He is ready to do it. Back off a wee bit there. He's got a better exit out of that section of corners there before, but like you say, using that draft and using that straight line speed to your advantage, try and just keep on the rear bumper of them and just keep it, and then try and make the move around there to turn one after a good straight. But of course that involves a wee bit of setup there and making this all work and staying right there with them for the other 3/4 of the track before you get to that straight. But he's doing a pretty good job of staying on him here. Went a wee bit wide. That's allowed. Open the door for Roger there. And we've got a disappearing car act once again. Roger's still there. That was like a carbon copy of the last lap.
It was.
Is he going to be?
Nathan just struggling a little bit with that right hand coming back towards the oval, just running a little bit wide there, and he's run wide here as well, or maybe just looking for a late apex and they're not quite able to commit to it as Roger's
I
just
think this
sneaking
is
the nose
probably
down.
as close to Roger's best chance. Oh, looks like.
Yeah, he's close. I think he's closer than he's been. He's inside 2/10 of a second, almost inside a tenth. He's got the draft and that straight line speed of the Beamer. He's going to try and squeeze it down the inside. Goes back to the outside. Oh,
Back
is
to
that
the
two
inside again.
moves? He's got it done anyway, but can he make it
Well
stick?
done. That was good defensive driving there. But,
Well, for me, there might be a bit of a question mark over the
in
defending.
terms of the braking zone.
I wonder if it's two moves, if he's already made his defensive move and then moved back.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that
Oh,
was.
and Roger has to jump over the curb there.
Yeah, didn't have a choice there. Yeah, I'd be interested to see that actually. Like if it was before his braking zone and what have you. Yeah, but I mean there was a wee bit of wiggling and jiggling around. Like I can understand the defence and understand getting in it, but yeah, do sort of have to be wary of that second move under braking there being offensive. And of course that's just made that gap a hell of a lot bigger now.
Yeah, so Roger having to take the slow down there. We'll have another look at that. I don't think it's... Oh, this is actually coming back a bit further than I'd like, so I'll see if I can jump to this one. Yeah, so... I don't think he's moved under brakes. He's certainly moved back towards the racing line. You can do that.
Oh,
Well, he's left a car width, hasn't he? So you can do that if you're going to leave a car width. So I think he might be okay there. There was certainly still a gap on the outside for Roger to take it if he wanted to, and that's... You know, as long as you don't close that gap off, I think you're okay.
yeah.
So I think we might just be within the
Yeah.
legal
First
limits
first
there.
impressions just from looking at that there, so play on, but yeah, just unfortunate that Roger had to take a wee bit more of that curb than he wanted to. You just see his left-hand tyre was inside the curve there, so enough to grab a slowdown from iRacing. Thank you very much, but. Hey, we might be looking at another one, but it's also brought up these Team West cars again, which are not too far off the action here.
Yeah, still running in a little bit of formation there. They've been able to gap their mate Wayne Hartnell, but right
Later,
off
Wayne. Later, bro.
right up and down, certainly still in close formation, and yeah, not too far away from Roger. I think Roger's probably got the pace to close back to Nathan as well, so that's worth keeping an eye on. In fact,
Yeah, for sure.
he's right there again already, so
Oh,
certainly plenty of pace. And
oh.
I wonder if Nathan's just taking some wider lines to try and carry a bit more momentum. If he recognises that the BMW's got that straight line speed momentum, maybe he's sacrificing time in the mid corner to carry a bit more speed, a bit more
Here we
momentum
go.
onto the
Is it
straight.
enough?
But
Is it enough?
certainly
He's alongside now.
Roger
He can't
getting
jump back.
alongside. Nathan hasn't come back as aggressively as he did previously, but he's going to have the inside line. Can Roger get the switch back? He hasn't been able to on this occasion, and of course the track goes back the other way anyway, so it's quite hard to make that work.
Proving quite the tricky overtake, that's for sure.
He'll be absolutely determined to get that done. No worries about
Oh, yeah,
popping the
definitely.
engine as he did on Tuesday. These GT3s have downshift protection, so you can't over-rev them, which is helpful.
I'd find a way.
We have seen a couple of blown engines in the GT3s, to be fair, so I should say it's a lot harder.
Nothing's impossible. Oh, Roger taking the inside line there. He's looks like he's got the run. It's sticking to the outside there.
Does he go back to the inside of the braking zone? He thinks about it, but certainly Nathan looking strong under brakes.
Yeah, and Roger there just having to brake a little bit more through that corner before this section here to try and get it slowed up enough to tuck him behind. But do we have enough here? He's pretty close, but if Nathan dives to the inside, yeah, he's going to be.
Well, he
Stayed on the outside.
hasn't covered as aggressively this time, and Roger's able to get alongside there, but Nathan again
He's
going
got
deep
it.
under brakes, but he's gone too
He's got
deep,
it.
and Roger's able to just walk on through there. So put the pressure on. Nathan tried to go late on the brakes and hold position, and he just couldn't quite get it pulled up there. And there's some contact
Oh,
between Nathan and right off Jenkins, and Nathan's facing the wrong way. Those two Team West cars go through. Didn't quite pick up exactly what went on there. Certainly Rideoff got into the back of Nathan there, but as to why, there's going to be a lot to unpack.
yeah, I did just hear a wee bit on the comms there. Right off Jenkins saying that his car was blinking around a wee bit, and I don't think he really saw him. But interesting to see what the replay has to say of that. But yeah, it does make it tricky. I mean, everyone's had connection issues and what have you. It is just a bit unfortunate, but can't do much about it. Unfortunately, you've sort of just got to ride the wave. And we've got his teammate there, and Jack Hintz coming down. So
Yep, Jack Hunt's getting on with it in the GTP. And we can go back and see exactly what happened to Nathan there. So he did have a bit of a blink, another little blink there, and
yeah. I can't blame
yeah,
him too much for that.
it's a tough one. Certainly, he had been there for a wee while when the contact was made, but I think he probably reappeared right at that moment where Rideoff needed to be committing to the brakes, and yeah, just a really unfortunate one there, I think.
Yep, definitely. Well, we can't have too much longer left in this race to go. What are we? Just underneath the 10-minute mark, or just on the 10-minute mark now, left to go?
Just over the 10-minute mark, about 12 minutes on the race timer there on the top of the timing tower.
Oh, yep. See, my iRacing is telling me that we're 1 hour 5 minutes in. So I've been stitched up. Didn't think about formation time, did I?
Absolutely, and I've made that mistake in the past where I've looked at the iRacing time and it's not quite right.
So for future reference, though, is your lap timer up there pretty accurate for when the green light went out? Is it, or?
Yes, seems to be anyway.
Okay, sweet.
Well, when the green flag waved.
Yeah. Good to know. Anything else too crazy? What have we got? This one here, we've got Dan Turner on Christian Jenkins. behind him. Nathan Gardner coming up behind Wayne Hartnell.
Oh, Nathan actually come into the pits now. Has he maybe reached that drive-through limit?
No, doesn't appear so.
Interesting then, this is his second time in the pits. Looks like he
He's
is
got a
going to
black
stop on the
flag.
tyres.
However, it's not for incidents.
Okay.
Did he not manage to not bleed a slowdown off quick enough, perhaps?
Could be. It looks like he's going to stop on his box though, so it might even be a stop and hold penalty.
Yeah, potentially. Yep, we are showing a black flag there for Nathan Gardner. So yeah, really the only thing it could be is that because do you get a drive-through or a stop and hold for not dealing with your slowdown in time? That's the question.
I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
Hmm. Well, he's going to be sitting in there a wee while by the looks of that.
We've certainly had Nathan going off track, or this might be the incident we've already seen, so don't think it's going to relate to that. Not really a lot of other data. Although we do have Nathan passing Thomas McCall. Could it be related to this? Maybe he's gone off track. No, this is him
Yeah,
coming
that's
into the pits,
driving into the
so
pit.
yeah, a
Okay.
bit of a strange one.
We have also just had a disconnect there from Nathan Gardner, so that will be the end of that one.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. We got something heading up in the GTP class there.
Oh, we have. That gap has come right down. Oh, so this is for... Sorry, I was reading the gap wrong. I thought it was Taylor closing on Stefan for P1, but it's actually Christian closing on Taylor for P2.
Yeah, sort of dancing between that 3/4 of a second and a second mark, and he's always half a second now. Crikey, that's happening fast. Okay, here we go. Is Taylor having some car issues, maybe?
Well, I've just brought up the pit laps. I wonder if that's got anything to do with it. Certainly, Taylor putting on lap 25, Christian on lap 38. So I think Christian just got much fresher tyres on that car and putting them to good use at the moment.
I wonder if the fuel situation's also coming into effect.
I think maybe Taylor might be a bit tight, having to do a bit of saving.
Maybe, yeah, maybe he's getting close to lap 25, so half or just under half of our current race distance. So yeah, maybe he's getting a wee bit tight on the fuel there.
Unfortunately, you won't be able to hear it, Leon, but I can hear, and the fans at home will be able to hear if he's doing any lift and coast. Doesn't look like it there. Certainly revving the engine all the way to the blue lights as well.
Okay, maybe he's fine there. It's just just those fresher tyres. Maybe just putting in the effort, because that half a second gap it's not going too far. Under half a second now.
He does look like he's finding the car
2/10
quite
on the
hard,
brake.
doesn't he? Looks like working the wheel quite a bit in a few spots there. He's going to have to lap Martin Price here as well, so that could allow Christian a chance to maybe sneak through if Taylor gets held up a little bit here. That looks like he's going to be able to get done nice and easily down the straight. If anything, Christian might find it a little bit more difficult, but he's certainly going to have to compromise his line into turn one a little bit, but
Still right on the bumper though, I think he's there.
Mark doing a good job to just hold a consistent line and leave room for those guys when he needed to.
Yep, certainly can't fault him for that. Rightio, here we go. Another thing that I didn't quite think about with the GTP cars here is also battery deployment.
Oh, he's going to have a look. Oh, that must have been close to a touch.
Must have been.
Yeah, certainly battery deployment is something you have to think about. Can leave it on balance for the entire race and it will sort itself out and just use enough to leave you with enough to keep you going. But if you want to use a bit more deployment to get some extra speed, you can turn it up to attack mode. And
he's close. He's right on him. Flick that into overtake. Go! Here we go.
Of course, Taylor can use that deployment in defence as well if he's managed to save up enough to turn it up.
Yep.
Christian has a look. Not able to get alongside. Taylor positioning the car nicely there.
Taylor doing very well to keep the line defensive there. Very well done. Christian just a wee bit wide there, but what's that going to mean for here? A wee bit wider, a wee bit more speed. Maybe not quite enough to get the job done, but a wee bit more straight line speed than there. Obviously tucked in the draft as well, so let's see how this one pans out. With just over 5 minutes left of our race distance, this one could get pretty spicy.
Yeah, I just noticed there, it looked like Taylor's car was rotating very aggressively, so I think he's used quite a lot of those rear tyres, and that's where he's struggling at the moment. So that's going to cost him on corner exit as well. He tries to get that power down as Christian looks to take advantage of Taylor picking his way through the GT3 traffic, and he's able to get alongside here, but just not quite having the space to go on with it. Had to back out of that one, and Taylor able to get a little bit of a run as a result, but certainly
We'll be wanting to get
Christian
this one done
still there.
immediately. I believe we just had a oh crikey, it's a wet one.
Showing the nose there, tucking back in. Moving around in the mirrors, trying to distract Taylor, see if he can force a mistake.
Yeah, he needs to use those tyres now while he's got that advantage. He needs to try and get this done. And
Oh, Taylor's got a good run through there though, and he's opened that gap up to over half a second again. I think it's this section where Taylor's just struggling with those rears a little bit.
just not quite. I think we had a Matt Gerard passing a Ryan Cotterill. Not too. Oh,
Oh, that's tight with the GT3 traffic there.
oh, he's got a little bit better this time though. No, another
Just caught up with that Team West car, which I think was right off just in the wrong place there. And again, it's just hurt his momentum onto the straight, and Taylor's able to stretch out the gap again. So with a bit of
P1 on the GT3s, is it?
maybe Dylan Shepherd? Yes, looks like it is. So while those guys have got a car in between them, we can go back and see Matt Gerard passing Ryan Cotterill for P13.
Ooh!
Forced his way up the inside and the flat out right-hander there, and then that put him in the perfect position to be able to just
Hell of a move,
cruise through that
Hell of a
hairpin.
move. Got it done. Love to see it. Back to these two. The car in between them there. That gap seems to have opened up a significant amount. So, yeah, Christian will be absolutely chomping at the bit to get a bit closer. And last 2.5 minutes of racing here. Not long to go, mate. You're going to need to want to get it done right now.
Yeah, and Taylor's been able to take advantage of Christian getting caught out with some of that GT3 traffic there, and has opened that gap up over a second, but that is coming down again, but still just
Awkward
over a
place for
second.
Christian to come onto the other car there, but they saw what was coming, so it's really good. Just onto a second now, that gap.
Yeah, so Taylor was able to do a 16.11 on that last lap, where Christian, coming across that traffic at the wrong time, could only manage a 16.6, so Taylor able to stretch it out by half a second, but I think we're going to expect to see this gap coming back down again, although stretching out to 1.3, but I think that first half of the track is where Taylor's a bit stronger, but it's towards the end here as he makes a lighter and then stretches out a bit more, so...
Yeah, I wonder if he was nursing a slowdown there, maybe, because that's going the other way to what we expected it to, for sure.
Yeah, either that or potentially just Taylor maybe might have been struggling with the tyres coming up a bit high in temperature, and he's just been able to cool them off a bit more while he had a bit of breathing room back to Christian, and now he's able to find a bit more speed with the tyres a bit more in the window there.
Yeah, for sure.
Certainly a factor with these tyres is that they do suffer a fair bit of thermal degradation if you do get them too hot.
Yeah, they don't enjoy it. Just Christian getting caught up in the traffic there. That's gonna hurt his chances of getting back on him as we see that gap grow to about 2.3 seconds, which, as we know in racing, is damn near an eternity. So
That's right. Meanwhile, Stefan, I think he will get one more lap out of this. He's got 40 seconds and he's coming
37
across the line now.
seconds ahead of the field. That is just magic.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. So by the time Taylor comes across the line, time's going to be up, but he's going to have to do one more lap because Stefan's that far ahead of him.
Rocky, what a unit!
I swear I don't have a Woody for Team West. It's just they seem to always be close together on track, and when I look through those gaps, it's always these guys that I come back to.
And then you're like, oh no, erection. Oh, terrible. Yeah, good to see. Good to see that. And the both of them have been sticking around track the whole time. Probably because there's only four Team West cars total.
Yeah, and they're going side by side a little bit here. Dan's actually been able to get ahead of Christian there. So Christian will be keen to see if he can find a way back past as they're going to be coming onto the final lap now. I think Stefan not too far behind them, but not going to quite be able to end the race a lap earlier by lapping them one more time. But he's going to come across the line now and take P1. So a great drive by Stefan, absolutely dominant performance. And we can see the field coming through here. GT3 cars pouring through. And we're going to have a bit of a gap as we wait for Taylor Mitchell to come on through, and he's going to be claiming P2 in the GTP class. We have had Blake Greenhill come across for second in GT3, so I think we missed him gaining another spot there and moving up. Nico Cordia coming home third. Taylor Mitchell takes P2 in the GTP there, and Christian Hermanson ended up 4 seconds behind nearly. So I think Christian just using a bit too much of those tyres as well in that battle, and unfortunately when he got held up by the GT3 car, that sort of ended any chance he had in the end.
Flagman's really putting a lot of body work into this flag waving situation here, isn't he?
He is, isn't he? He's going hard.
He's going quite furious about it. I wish I had the stamina.
So we've had Grant Bristow claim P6. I think this might be Michael van der Haasen now coming across the line. No, that was Pricey, sorry, coming across for 7th. Jack Hints is claiming P5.
Have we just had a car run out of fuel? Have we just had Dylan Shepherd run out of gas coming to the line?
Fortunately for him, P2 was already finished, so he's going to be able to just coast it, and he's got the momentum to get there.
Oh, he is so lucky.
He is. So
fortunately
for him, the way it worked out, he had crossed the line just before Stefan came across, so where Blake was a bit behind Stefan, so that enabled Dylan to not be under threat for position as he ran out of fuel there, so quite lucky on that.
Yep, for sure. Oh, running out of fuel across the line, eh? Well, I mean, that's what it looked like anyway, so...
Could have just been cruising knowing that he had that safety, but yeah, it certainly looked like he was out of fuel, but well done Dylan on being able to wrap that up, and well done Stefan.
Mean skids there, B.
Absolutely, and we've got the winners from both classes doing some skids together on the front straight, so that's pretty cool to see.
Good on them. That's how we like to see it.
Nose to nose skidding as well.
Oh, beautiful.
Wonder if one of them's going to jam the racing boot under the pedal and climb out onto the roof.
I would. Looks like the battery deployment there of the hypercar seems to just be pushing along just ever so slightly. Oh no, he's got it back now. Nice. Rightio. We have a couple of guests here that are sitting in the waiting room next door. Maybe that we could have a wee chat to and see how their races went. We've got a Nico Cordia and Taylor Mitchell, so P3 from the GT3 class. Well done, Nico. Bloody good effort, mate. And Taylor Mitchell, P2 in the GTP class. Who should we bring up first, Mr. Watt?
I say let's go to Taylor first since we don't have Stefan in there just yet. So we'll go to yeah, we'll go to P2 first. And
P2 of the GTP class, eh?
Yes.
Well done, mate. I see you're under a wee bit of pressure there from Christian, just getting into the dying stages of that race. Then you pitted a wee bit earlier than him, so you struggling with tyres a wee bit there in the last pit. We noticed he had a wee bit of pace on you, but then with traffic and stuff, you managed to pull out of it. So how were you feeling at that point?
Uh, Before the start, I put the wrong setup on. I went toilet, so I rushed back and saw 10 seconds, so I had the quality setup on. So I chucked in a different setup, and yeah, I only had 50 liters, so I pitted early, and then a long ass pit stop, get all that fuel back. But yeah,
Yeah.
P2's good.
Yeah, for sure. You can't be arguing at all with that. So very well done, man. Nice to see you managed to keep the gap there. Ended on about 4 seconds there at the last bit when it was down to about 3/10 or 2/10 at one point there. So it certainly looks like a bit of pressure was getting applied there. But nice to see you managed to pull out of that. Still bring home P2s. Very well done indeed.
Thank you.
Got any sponsors you want to shout out tonight, man?
Yeah, MRX Race Sims.
Of course, you
um,
have to. You're legally obliged to.
yeah, I get a beating if I don't.
I bet.
Roads, Jump Flex, Random Impact, Macindoe Construction, AWS Graphics, Blockchain Karting, and I think that's it.
And shout out to all those guys. Oh, well, thank
Yeah.
you very much for joining us in the lounge, man, and well done on the P2. That's wicked.
Thank you. See you guys.
See you, mate.
cheers, Taylor.
Rightio.
And good timing. Our race winners just jumped into the waiting room as well, so we can have a chat to him. Unfortunately, I've just seen Blake disappear from downstairs, and he hasn't dropped into the waiting room. So, hey Blake, if you're listening, get your ass into the waiting room. We want to talk to you.
Yeah. What a dick.
In the meantime, while we're waiting for Blake to get his shit together, we can talk to Stefan McCartan. Congratulations, taking out yet another race win, Stefan.
Cheers, man.
37 seconds.
Yeah, I got lucky with I assume Taylor put on a wrong setup or low fuel setup because I was
Yes.
20,
Yes,
21
did.
seconds quicker than him in the pit stop. So you take that away and the gap's a bit more modest.
Yeah, but still, I mean, everything's got to come together at the right time, and obviously that's part of it. He was apparently going to the toilet and then came back and realised there was only 10 seconds left to go on the on the countdown. So, but still, epic race, man. That was commanding from start to finish. So, anything to note, or you were pretty comfortable, were you?
Well, comfortable is not probably a strong word. I'm quite crook at the moment, so keeping focus is tough. But yeah, no, the Acura is on rails around here with the setup I was using, so that helped a lot. And yeah, thanks to the teammate boys for just keeping me focused throughout the race while they're still doing their GT3 race.
Yeah, good on them.
I think pretty clear indication of your dominance tonight is the fact that I've tried to bring up some of your highlights for the night, typed your name into the program, and the only thing I've got is the formation lap swapping, and then a couple of Stefan McCartan entered pit lane and exited pit lane.
How good. 2 incident points over the whole course of it, eh? That's bloody
Yeah.
good going.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And they were
Easy.
only from GT3 sort of diving in the wrong direction, so I had to avoid. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was pretty happy with it.
No, cool, man. No, very cool. Yeah, no, it's pretty easy to keep it clean when you're sitting 93 seconds ahead of the pack, eh?
It helps for sure.
No, I love your work, man. Thank you very much for showing your face, and good to see you back in the seat, and very cool to have you back on track.
Cheers, boys. Thanks for this hosting and streaming.
Any sponsors or anything you want to shout out tonight?
Oh yeah, probably should. So Blackout Electrical, Shunt Scenery, Palmerston Bakery, and DSM Painting Decorating, and a big one, Simrigs as well, over in Aussie. Thanks for all your support, and we couldn't do it without them.
That's what we love to hear. No, wicked, man. Thank you very much.
Cheers, boys.
All right, bud. Catch up.
Just man.
Rightio. And then who do we have next? We have a Nico, who was, I believe, P3 in the GT3s. Looks like it.
Was.
Race control score
Nico.
suspended.
Good day, good evening.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. Happy with P3.
Did you happen to drop little slithers of biltong on the track so everyone else would start spinning out on the oily biltong there? Was that your tactic tonight?
That was my tactic. Yeah, I was hoping to get Blake
away with
to get away with it.
Yeah, well, yeah, we can see that on the stream. So yeah, unfortunately, you've been foiled. Your plan's been foiled, mate.
Damn.
No, really
damn.
cool race, man. How did you feel about it? Was everything going your way? Like P3, that's certainly nothing to be too ashamed of.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, look, I was pretty happy with P3. I think I messed up my in lap coming in because I knew I was quite a bit ahead of Blake, and he was pushing hard, but unfortunately, going up into the pit stop, I took fuel. I opted to not take tires because they felt pretty good. And yeah, I just think since I came out of the pit lane, I saw Blake go past, and I knew I had to push real hard. I caught up to him, and unfortunately, just got passed by a couple of GDPs into the hairpins or into the chicanes, and that pushed me off a bit.
Yeah, sure.
But other than that, I was pretty happy with the result in the end. And coming into tonight, I put a good bit of practice in and got my setup real happy with it. So felt good coming in. And yeah, Dylan was just a slight touch too fast tonight.
Yeah, for sure. He actually ran out of fuel, what it looks like coming across the line. So unfortunately, you guys had finished by then already. But yeah, no, it's still a very cool race. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely enjoyable to watch from our end. So,
that's good.
crucially,
Yes.
though, I believe you are still well and truly ahead in the GT3 class. So, Ryan Cotterill, Dan Turner, Callan Hodgkinson, all finishing quite a lot lower than yourself. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome to know.
You're like, yes, very good. I'm fine with that. Yep, absolutely fine with that.
100%. Nah, not a problem. No, I'm real stoked about leading the championship at the moment in GT3 class. So yeah, coming into this round, I knew I had to push hard. And about halfway through, when I saw where Ryan was sitting in class, I was wondering if he was struggling a bit with tires or. And I knew with them being further down, it just extends my lead slightly with a couple more points.
Yeah, for sure.
So I felt bad for him, but felt happy on the other end. But yeah, so 2 more to go, and I'm really looking forward to Misano. It's a real good track that I really enjoy.
No, cool. We look forward to seeing some good results around there, then, eh?
Well, let's hope so. Detroit's going to be fun. The final round.
I love
I've
Detroit.
never driven it. I haven't put a lap down, so it's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to next week.
One way to figure it out, eh, mate? That's the spirit.
Definitely.
No,
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Any sponsors you want to shout out tonight, there, Nico?
Oh, definitely to ANZ TRL, my club that I drive for. Really appreciate their support and them always pushing me along, saying go get them, and so yeah, real good on them. And just being part of the ANZ TRL crew is a real honor.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, wicked. Well, thank you for popping up and having a chat with us, Nico. We appreciate it.
Awesome stuff. Thanks, guys.
Righto, mate. Rightio.
It looks like we have got Dylan Shepherd there as well, so he was class winner for GT3, so we can bring him in for a chat.
Sweet.
Well done, Dylan. P1 in GT3 class tonight. How was that?
Oh yeah, it was really fun. Hadn't done any laps really. I kind of rocked up 5 minutes before practice, and luckily I've done a lot of cup car laps here, so it was kind of familiar. Yeah, but first stint was awesome. Nico was keeping me honest. I was watching his lap times versus mine, and it just seemed like he got a little bit unlucky with traffic, but his pace was matching mine pretty much the whole time. So I couldn't back off. Like it wasn't a easy Sunday drive, that's for sure. But it was fun.
Speaking of which, did you run out of fuel coming across the line?
Nah, like I didn't get lapped by Stefan like the second and third, or second down would have. So
Ah,
um,
yeah.
I was Steph was like 10 seconds behind me, and I was like, oh, let's just cross the finish line at the same time. Like he'd already finished, but I was like, oh, let's just go across the line together. I think we did it at Long Beach, and thought it'd be cool to do it again.
Yeah, I saw you doing some nose to nose burnouts.
Yeah, sponsors can pay for some new front bars.
No, anything too stressful about that race? No, your car felt pretty good. You were pretty happy.
Yeah, it was a fun race to kind of not have too much practice in. It was kind of cool to over the race kind of learn on the fly and try different things over the stint. So that was like kind of fun, and like learning while you're on track is always good. So
Yeah,
that was good,
absolutely.
and yeah, like the traffic was on my side pretty good. Like, I had an incident a few weeks ago at Spa, but tonight there was a few keen moves, but you're always going to have that. You're never going
Ah,
to have a
absolutely.
100% clean race. So
Yep,
yeah, it didn't get taken out. Didn't have any major incidents at all. No, not
that
even
is
really
a
any
bonus.
minor ones. So yeah, no, really smooth race tonight. Really fun race, and I think yeah, some of the boys like Nico are going to be knocking on the door soon and keeping me honest.
Yeah, and that's what we're all about, man. Is keeping those deltas tight and having some cool battles, and so we can watch it and give you guys plenty of shit. Yeah, I'm not complaining at all. Well, that's bloody good to hear, man. Well done on your win, and yeah, hopefully that continues into next week. Thank you for showing up, and yeah, we'll be rooting for you in the next one.
Ah, cheers, boys. It's good to know. Yeah, yeah, thanks. Thanks for putting on the broadcast as well. It's a lot of time that you guys are putting away to watch a few Billies drive around a track.
Yeah, we have fun. We have fun doing it though. That's the main thing. And while I'm
Absolutely.
laid up with one arm, then I'll happily come and be Shane's better half. So
Easy.
no, wicked. Thanks, Dills. We appreciate it, mate. Thanks for coming back, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome, guys. Cheers.
Lovely
Cheers,
jubbly.
mate.
And we got rid of
Alright,
him.
we sure did.
Okay, that
So,
must be us then, shall it?
just about is. We'll just quickly run through the results from tonight so we can see Stephen McCartan taking things out for GTP tonight. Taylor Mitchell coming home 36.9 seconds behind him. Christian Hermanson rounding out the podium. Michael van der Haas fourth, then Jack Hintz, Grant Bristow, Dylan Price rounding out the finishes. Dylan Price? Oh my god. Mark Price rounding out the finishes in GTP tonight. And then, as I've scrolled on too early as well,
Classic, classic.
we can then. Oh, it's not doing anything I want it to now. Well, I can tell you, after Mark Price, we had Dylan Shepherd coming home to take out GT3. Blake Greenhill was second in GT3 from Nico Cordia rounding out the podium.
Yep.
Then we had Nick McIndoe, Nick Mitchell, Matthew Gerard, Ryan Cotterill, Roger Forbert, Kristen Jenkins, Dan Turner rounding out the top 10. Cullen Hodgkinson, Wayne Hartnell, Thomas McCall, Richard Saunders, and Nathan Gardner, who I think actually didn't finish the race, did he?
No,
So
no, he did
he,
not.
I believe, was the first of our non-finishers, and then we had also Brett O'Keefe, Steve Arthur, Bill Kilgour, Scott McKenzie, Jackson Kilgour, Ben McMurray, Daniel Hedgeside, Steve Darren, Aidan Lamont, and Trent Bennett all also calling it a night early. Actually, it looks like Aidan Lamont and Trent Bennett might not have even taken the start.
Oh, niggly. No, I don't think they did. Oh,
But
crikey.
anyway, so that's Indianapolis. Did
One
I
and
get rid of
done.
that? All done. Congratulations, Stefan, on winning the GTP class, and Dylan Shepherd on winning the GT3 class. And big thank you to everybody at home for coming along. Big thanks to you, Leon, for joining me. Thanks,
Most
of
well.
course, to MRP for your support of the HPR series. And I don't think we talked much about Phoenix driver development tonight, but to be fair, we gave them pretty good reps on Tuesday night in the V8s, which that's their main focus with their driver coaching anyway. But if you are
Yeah,
interested,
let's say that, eh?
yeah, if you are interested in getting quick in a V8, by all means reach out to Laz. Of course, he's no miracle worker. He's not gonna just suddenly make you as quick as Rehan just by showing up, but he can certainly help you to understand how you can improve and help you out with some setups as well. So reach out to him if you're interested in that. Other than
Absolutely.
that, cheers to all our drivers for coming along tonight, and cheers to everybody at home for tuning in. We will be back with you for some more V8s on Tuesday night before we come back to some more HPR action next Thursday as we get towards the end of the season. So,
Hoorah.
thanks everyone. Have a good night.